as I said in the last review, Nintendo released two big arcade games in 1983. Today we'll be looking at the other game known as Mario Brothers. Now, as far as I know, I believe that Mario Brothers did better than Donkey Kong 3, but it still did poorly in the US due to the video game crash of that year. But regardless, how does the game play and how is it today?
Well, before we begin, I should say that this game is actually a predecessor to the Super Mario Bros. Franchise. I know that was kind of a well done moment, but believe it or not, I wasn't aware of this game's existence for many years. And even when I did figure it out, I played many Super Mario games. Anyways, this game has the brothers actually doing plumbing for once. Yeah, in all of Mario's video game career, this is the only time he actually works with the pipes. However, Mario is not alone. He is joined by his brother Luigi, making his first video game debut. Now you may be wondering, how are Mario and Luigi able to play together? Well, in actuality, the arcade cabinets supported multiplayer action. However, some cabinets were converted from older Nintendo cabinets, but there do exist wider cabinet models of the game. By having two players, it can either help you gain more points or become a challenge between players, and both attempt to gain more points. As I stated earlier, the goal of the game is to clear the sewers of all the enemies, and if there is one thing this game has a lot of, it's enemies. There are shell creepers, not Koopa Troopas, crabs, flies, and even ice. To defeat these enemies, you must bash them from underneath, or hit the POW block. Unlike the Super Mario Bros. Series, jumping on the enemies actually kills you. By killing enemies, they turn into coins for the brothers to collect. And every once in a while, there will be a bonus stage that appears with coins to be collected in a short amount of time to increase your high score. In many ways, this game not only evolved the platforming genre, but it set the groundwork for the Super Mario Bros. Series that came out a few years later. If you really think about it, this game has many similarities with the games. Two brothers, turtles, POW blocks, coins, it's all there. Though this game may have not done so well, it did help create perhaps one of the most famous video game franchises of all time. But as a whole, Mario Bros. Is a fun and addictive arcade game. It can get challenging in the later stages, and especially with the second player, but overall, I'd say it's a good game. The game was ported to many systems like Donkey Kong, but the most accurate one was of course on the NES. This version made some changes and is scaled back in some places, but it still provides a good and accurate experience. There was also a remake of the game called Mario Bros. Classic on the Game Boy Advance, which released with the Super Mario Advance series, and it upgraded the graphics and made the controls a bit better, but it still is the same game. In my opinion, this is the definitive version of the game. But if you are interested in playing the original, then the arcade version is available on the Switch like the other Nintendo arcade games thanks to Arcade Archives. The NES version is also available on the NES Switch Online app.
Now, as I have stated throughout this review, this game really established the ground rules for the Super Mario Bros. Series. And man, what a perfect segue. To all of you who are watching, let me introduce the Game Corner. It will be a segment on this channel where I'll be reviewing console games. So for these first few reviews, I'll be looking at the early 2D Mario games, starting with, of course, Super Mario Bros. On the NES, and ending with Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. I'll also be looking at the Mario Land Game Boy games as well. Now, the thing about these reviews is that they'll probably take me a while, so I'll have to put a lot of time and effort into those. So you may not see me for a while. And I plan to have all these reviews up by the end of September. The reason being is that September will mark the 35th anniversary of the Mario series. However, this won't be the end of Arcade Chronicles. I plan for this to be the end of a season, to say the least. I'll probably come back to this series in the summer or fall of next year, but I'm not quite sure. But I do plan to come back at some point. So to those of you who are watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you keep watching. Have a good rest of your day, and until then, this is Arcade Chronicles.